Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Fresh Crits of Melbourne. Yeah, this is not Glenvale, ladies and gentlemen. This is my first attempt this season at racing at the almighty Teardrop with Hawthorn Cycling Club on a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Now, full disclosure, I'm yet to finish one of these races, so you're going to watch me do whatever I can to see if I do actually finish, and let me know what you think. Same as always, we're back with another video, so if you do like this stuff, please hit that subscribe button and try to get that number trending the other way. And if you see yourself, comment, hit that like button. All that stuff does help the channel get it out to as many people as we can so I can continue doing this. And if you want to, hit that thanks button and throw a few shekels my way. It all helps to eventually one day upgrade my computer because it is absolutely cooked. So there's not much to report about this race. I've got a couple of teammates. We've got Dino here in the Race Atlas kit, Huddo to my right. We're both racing together here. The course, it was windy a little bit, but it did drop off in the afternoon. And finally, the way we're gonna play this video out, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a discussion around how I found taking the corner, quote unquote. So we'll look at that shortly, and then we'll go into how the race played out. So grab a pen and paper and let's go to school. Over the next few clips, I want to highlight where I've been having the most success in hitting the late apex down at the Teardrop, because this corner is imperative to being successful at this race. I've raced Hawthorn A grade a few times now and not been successful in finishing one yet, so I kind of wanted to show everyone else what works for me, see if that helps you. So let's start off by going back to school, and I'll share a screenshot from Google Earth and I'll talk around my thoughts anyway. Okay, so here is a Google Earth screenshot of the corner. Because it's a little bit blurry, I've put that white line in there to show where the corner is, and now we're going to have a look at where I've been finding the most success with hitting the late apex. Okay, so the pink line that I've drawn here is my best attempt on paint to show the racing line to hit the late apex. And why I've been finding success with this is it allows you to accelerate harder out of the corner, because we all know the corner is off-cambered. So by coming out and straightening up earlier, it means you can get on the pedals quicker and accelerate faster up that hill. Previously, I used to do this line. The green line shows you essentially turning in earlier, which means applying the brakes earlier, essentially coming in slower, and then having to swing really, really wide before you can actually start pedaling again, otherwise you're going to clip a corner. So I'm going to highlight a couple of examples of me hitting the late apex. Started out wide, taunted late, there's the apex, and I come out with plenty of speed. Same again here, apex late, coming out with plenty of speed. Now obviously you can't do this every time, apex late there, because starting out wide means you've got to contend with people that are going to dive bomb you. So as always, it's a case by case basis, and you've got to take the line that you're offered. Here for example, we're going back to the archives, you can see I was forced wide, so I had nowhere to go. But in this line, I had the inside line, but still managed to come in too early, and you lose wheels there. Look, I'm already 2-3 bike lengths down. Another one here, came in way too early, can't get pedaling. I lose more bike lengths. Another one coming up. Force a little bit wide, got dived on that one. But this is the worst one coming up. On my own, turning way too early, and I'm still turning, and I can only now put some watts through the pedals in order to start climbing back up that hill. So I don't know, this is just what my take of it. Obviously there's going to be 1,000 different other ways you can take this corner. So if you've got your own little way, share it below, chuck it in the comments. I'd love to hear what works for you. Because this is just what's worked for me, just for this race anyway. So enough of that. I hope you enjoyed it anyway, but let's get back to the racing and see how this one plays out. Do I actually finish a Hawthorn? Alright, we're only 5 minutes into this race with 23 Ks left of this brutal circuit, and I found myself third last wheel. And it took me a little bit of time to figure this out, but this is exactly where I didn't want to be. So at Hawthorn, especially in A grade, it is quite hard to find those sort of passing lanes to move up in the bunch, because let's think about it, it's very hard to do it on the climbing up the hill, because you're just going to have to put so many more watts in than everyone else, and essentially burn more matches. So it's quite hard to gain position there. you don't really want to do it coming into this corner because you'll just dive bomb everyone and cause a crash. So what do? Where do you find those passing lanes at Hawthorn? So what worked for me this Wednesday night was finding a passing lane on the back part of the course where there's a bit of a downhill, just waiting and biding my time for a moment where the group kind of sat up, bunched out, and I could burn a little match just to move up on the outside of the bunch. Now you can, if you look at the map in the bottom right hand corner, this goes against where the wind is actually coming from. The wind did actually drop as the race went on, which is quite rare for Melbourne. We normally get that sea breeze, but this is where I found that line. Been forced to the outside here on this corner, but managed to swing wide and open up a spot for this ARA rider to come and jump on the wheel. So I guess to answer the question, where do you move up in Hawthorn? Well, you've really got two options. You can burn a match early and try to jump across all in one go, or you can bide your time and just wait for that right moment where you can move up the field and get in a better pozzy. One thing that I do like about Hawthorn is there's something always happening, right? And for this, we've got one prime happening. And if you haven't watched any of my videos before, essentially what a prime is a small sprint in the race where the first person across the start-finish line, when the race connoisseur blows their whistle, wins something. And that could be anything from coffee to clothes to bags or whatever. So for this one, there's a sprint prime. And I've found myself, I think I'm currently like 4th. So you can see there's Pat on the left-hand side with 3 riders up the road here. At this moment, I'm feeling okay. I'm like, okay, well, things are going well. We're 14 minutes in. I'm not completely exploded yet. So I do a little bit of an effort to bridge across to this group up the road because I fancy myself a chance here. Things are looking pretty good. But remember, my main goal at Hawthorn was just to finish. So I didn't want to burn any matches and go for a prime win only to miss out and not finish the race. So I find myself on TJ's wheel, who's a really strong rider. We come around here, but when we get to this bit of the course, that brutal uphill drag, this rider in the Crane Tech kit just unleashes and puts a huge gap into us and doesn't even stop. So there's no real point contesting there. That's fine. I was just happy to be in the mix and at the front of the race for a change. So that was the prime, won by that Crane Tech rider. So well done. And now it's back to some real racing as another attack's been launched up the road there. Another good way to ride good position in any crit race is find another rider who you know is strong, who you know always finishes at the top end of the field, and just sit on their wheel. And watch how they take corners, watch how they move up through the peloton, and just see if you can follow them. You know, sometimes it's easier said than done, but for this example, I've found Bento here from Case Parkup, number 107, who is constantly at the top end of Hawthorn, at Glenvale, and any other crit that he races. So yeah, number 1, he's a very smooth operator, knows how to move around in the bunch, and also because he's quite tall, he can provide a nice sit for me. So I sit on his wheel, stick to it like glue, and just follow him around the course and save a bit of energy because he's going to keep me up in those top wheels in this bike race. So I put the question to you, do you have someone that you follow around the course? If so, make sure you tag them below, pipe up in the comments below and let me know who that is. So we've skipped forward a couple of minutes now and I've been riding okay, been in good pozzy, but if you look in the rear cam, you'll notice Huddo from Race Atlas, my teammate, coming in hot. However, what I did not expect was that my good friend and teammate would come up underneath me in the neutral zone. I lose the wheel to Bento, and then he drops the wheel to Bento, and now we're forced to chase. So I'm like, Huddo, what is going on here? Obviously, we all make mistakes. I wanted to highlight this one just to give him a bit of a ribbing, but no, he's been a fantastic teammate. And he looks behind. Oh no, he knows he's cooked it as well. He's had to put a monster effort in order to get back across. He's in all sorts. But the man is fine because we're both fueled by his nutrition brand, Liquid FTP. Big shout out to Huddo for providing the nutrition for us here at Race Atlas. Check him out online and on Insta. I'll put the link below. Liquid FTP. And the man says it's guaranteed to add about 20 watts to your FTP. So if you want to take your cycling to the next level, oh, and imagine if you paired that with some Windspace wheels, link below for them as well, you may as well be riding World Tour. But enough of that, let's get back to this race. With only 5Ks to go, I'm in the second bunch. As you can see there's a small bunch up the road that's slowly getting away. And when Bentley goes to bridge across, you know things are pretty dire. He's done a huge effort there to get across, and now when my heart rate's at 182, I am almost maxed out. Have a look in the rear cam. It is single file, a lot of heads down, a lot of shaking heads. This is that time in the race where you just need to put everything on the table, all the chips on the table, and just do whatever you possibly can to claw across. Now, we've all been in this sort of situation before where your body's telling you to stop. You know, you feel like there's blood in your mouth, but you've got to just keep pushing through that, because this is where the race can be make or break, you know. Fortunately for me, I'm trying to put in a big effort here, but there's a nice little group behind us. I'm still getting a slight draft here, even though these riders are a few bike lengths in front. But fortunately for me, we've got El Chariot himself, TJ, coming across, joined by a few other riders. But this is where the race gets interesting, because we're sharing the course with Seagrave. There's been a crash. The yellow flag's out, which is actually mean you're meant to neutralise and slow down coming into that corner. But to be honest, it doesn't look like anyone has. They've gone full gas straight up this berg, and it's left me scrambling. Everybody is now single file doing whatever they possibly can to hold onto the wheel. And with 4Ks left, I'm on my absolute limits. Heart rate starting to max out, 183. But questions are starting to be raised with that little group in front slowly starting to move away. Heads are starting to be turned. People are swinging off. Who's going to do the work? Who's going to be the one to really push that final effort across? And we're all cooked, 186 beats. I wish I could do more, but I'm on the absolute limit here. 45 kilometers around this corner. I'm just hanging on right now, but that group is starting to get away a little bit further. I'm starting to put an effort here. A couple more riders come across here. Duda rider, a Crane Tech rider. Everyone's doing whatever they possibly can to get across. And now it's just trying to stay in the wheels, try to make sure that you are in the mix in order to be able to put in a little bit of an effort to assist this group in getting across. But unfortunately, it's all too little too late. We've got Nick Scolari here sporting some beautiful AG2R kit from Pro Bike Kit over in Perth, where the last two on the track with 400 meters to go. We've called a bit of a truce, but between me and you, I kind of just want to roll him in the sprint just to say that I got one up on Squiz. But we come around this corner for last effort, and I reckon at this stage I'm 30 seconds behind the front group, and I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to call that I finished my first A-grade Hawthorn. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did I actually finish this race? Love to hear what you think. Thanks again for watching, everyone. If you do see yourself, please comment below. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care. Ciao.